everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have an exciting matchup between two teams looking to perform on a big stage. It's the Vikings going up against the Lions. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and he will take a knee here. So per the new rules in 2016, this will be brought out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their third-year quarterback now, Teddy Bridgewater. He was 6-6 as a rookie, 11-5 as a sophomore. Pretty good uptick.
It really is. And how many times have we heard from coaches that you make your most improvement as a player between year 1 and year 2? I'm going to say they're wrong in terms of Teddy Bridgewater. I think he makes more improvement again in year 3 because they want the ball downfield more. Big strikes. And I think Teddy Bridgewater can supply it, especially off of the play-action passes.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. They'll run the option left. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. Here's the offense, and when you talk about this offense, you certainly have to talk about all-day AP, Adrian Peterson.
Does not shy away from contact. Also has the speed to go the distance. It's the rare combination that you get from one of the great runners of all time in the NFL. 2,000 yards every year is the goal. I'd never bet against him.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the quarterback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And he's able to find Diggs. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
Let's go.
Back to the ground, Peterson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
This guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. On 4th down, here's the Saints rookie kicker Will Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
The second-year man from Nebraska, it's Amir Abdullah. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
And the play clock's running down. They go with Abdullah again. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. We get a look now at the offensive starting unit for the Detroit Lions, and one big target they have at tight end is Eric Ebron.
And they are ready for him to fulfill his promise because he was drafted to be a game breaker. Big target, guy who could block at the line of scrimmage, but really get downfield and make plays against defenders, overmatch them. They haven't seen enough of that yet. They want to come to the front in 2016.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards.
Hey, 22! Hey, 50, 21!
3rd and 2, Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Fresh set of downs here.
Hey, 5-0! Set, 180!
On first down, Stafford here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a loose football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Time running out here on the play clock. They go back to Abdullah on first. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Stafford now on second down. He gets it complete to Anquan Bolden. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Set, 80, 70, 59, 50, here we go, 80.
Stafford on 3rd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
So times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's second down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Eric Kendricks is another one of those bloodline guys in the NFL. His brother Michael also applies his trade as a linebacker. And Eric's trying to show him he's the best in the family.
So this will be the 9th play on this drive.
50 left.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And this one complete to Andre Roberts. Touchdown, Detroit! Andre Roberts, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down following the run.
Get ready!
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. He gets it left side to Johnson. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now Abdullah, the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw. Stafford. He completes it to Tate. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. The 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So we're through a quarter here on Thanksgiving Day. 10-7 our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade. the Sports Fuel Company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Now come the Vikings. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. Adrian Peterson. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, 95 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Set, 180.
Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 there. And it'll be first down, Detroit.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talked about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Stafford on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there. And the Lions are going to have a first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Back to throw, Stafford. Another reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll come out in the pistol.
Set. Right 80. Hey, put out.
Play clock winding down. Now it's Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Golden Tate, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Prater on to add the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Lions defensive unit. They trot back out onto the field. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger-pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Yeah, see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. They start the drive with Peterson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Again, Peterson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
So on fourth down, here's a punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. This is taken at the 15. He juked him. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, it almost doesn't matter. And right now, he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
Now he's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive. On first down, Stafford here. That one intended for Anquan Bolden. That'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Big 20. Hey, 10.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Throwing is Stafford. Finds Roberts left side. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for Bolden, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Caught on the right side by Treadwell. It goes as a pickup of 23. And the Vikings are going to have it now, 1st and goal.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
They'll run with Peterson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. Second down, Bridgewater. He's got time in the pocket, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal.
Play 90. Hey.
3rd and goal for Bridgewater. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And he's able to put it through. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Detroit first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Hey, tag 32. Tag 32. Set. 80.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Set. Lady. Hey, 22.
On first down at Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now Prater to add the PAT. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So the hard count gets them there. Neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defense thought they had the timing down, but the quarterback hit them with a hard count, got them to jump.
Shift together here from the D-line. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Bridgewater gives to Peterson on the draw. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play. A second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit, as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Lions haven't done a great job tackling, and that's led to some long runs. The Vikings showed last week they were capable of these type of plays, so they're just doing more of the same. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Lions take it at the 39. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and he goes in for 6. They're now on top by 4. Vikings with the ball late in the first. The pass complete out of the gun. And this play will go for 6. Vikings go up by 3. Now early in the second, Peterson gets into the clear, and he's gone as he sprints to the end zone, pushing the lead to 10. Lions lined up at the 38. Quick pass and catch by Golden Tate. And this long run goes for a touchdown. Now trailing by just 3. Lions have it midway through the second. Here the throw is hurried and picked off. Coles reading the play and comes away with it, ending the drive. After the pick, offense comes out now. The connection is made in the middle of the field. And a quick 3-play drive ends with a score, pushing the lead to 10. Late in the second, Tate's the target on the sideline throw. And 21 yards later, he'll go in for the score. Lions now down by just 3. So that'll bring our halftime report to a close. We'll go back now to Ford Field for the start of the third quarter.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Our eyes shift now to the Vikings defense. They are up on the scoreboard, but that first half probably not what they envisioned defensively.
When you give up that many points, it's never what you envision defensively. I don't care what game you're playing in. Any defense has pride, and they're not going to say, that's acceptable. But winning gives you a little bit of a margin, a little bit of a cushion, gives them a chance to correct some things.
Yeah, they start the second half with that cushion. Second half starts with a run by Abdullah. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, second down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really, really having trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space.
And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Simple slant route and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. Third down. They come out here in the eye. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
Set, go 20. Hey, 50. Hey, go here.
Again, it's Abdullah. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, here's Stafford. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
On first down, Abdullah. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Here's Stafford now on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Captain Mutterland. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Lions defense gearing up as they take the field.
Let's go. Wide 80.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And this is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Bridgewater finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Jeff Locke now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. All right, let's discuss Amir Abdullah. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Hey, go here.
They come out here in the eye.
We're rolling. Waiting. Hot.
A handoff to Abdullah. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. As Chad Greenway in on the stop.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
18 yards there and a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
10, 59. Easy.
Here's Abdullah. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Hey, tackle Omaha, reboot.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Set, 250.
Now the second-year man from South Dakota State. It's Zach Zenner. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Stafford on first down. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And this seemingly endless drive continues.
50-50. Set, go 20.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. So this is where a defense can really pin back its ears, bring it all, sell out to stop the run. This time, it'll earn them 2 points.
They definitely guessed right here. A run blitz all the way, and that's a bad feeling for a running back when he knows he's got to at least get it over the goal line. But all he sees are opposing jerseys.
They'll look to set up his blockers. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
second down now after the incompletion. Another pistol look here. They run with Abdullah, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Here we go.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. It's caught to Charles. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is taken around the 12. Oh, the spin. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Let's go.
Second down, Bridgewater. It's caught. Michael Pruitt. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yeah.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Peterson alone in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And some room to roam now. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. And another good game here as the numbers show. We had a rare meeting with the entire offensive line this week. They were pretty ecstatic. Well, they should be ecstatic again.
And we had that meeting with them because of how they played last week. I thought it was your idea. It was brilliant to say, let's bring the big guys in.
You're so kind.
Well, it was true. Let's talk to the guys. How did they pull that off? Because they were so productive. No real problems in getting to the offensive backfield. They were getting downfield, getting the second, third level, creating extra blocks. We're seeing that again this week. They are really locked in. So credit to them, but also a big credit to the offensive line coach because he's got to feel great about what he's prepared.
Absolutely. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
That's caught by Treadwell. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll try and wind down some clock with Peterson. And a solid run down inside the 30.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And down to the 36-yard line here. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Peterson alone in the backfield. Throwing, Bridgewater. The left side caught by Diggs. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon. Peterson, no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And just a simple, basic neutral zone infraction here, partner.
Yeah, when you're ready to launch and go get the quarterback, sometimes you take off a bit too fast.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So a big spot forthcoming for the kicker, Blair Walsh. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And time to spotlight Golden Tate. So glancing at these numbers, I think they tell a story of, hey, early on he got hot, he got their attention, they've been able to hone in on him, shut him down a bit.
He certainly did get their attention, and that's the ultimate compliment for a player, that when you come out in the second half, all of a sudden there's extra guys around you, there are different coverages rolled your way. That means you've done something really well. Now it's up to him to make his own adjustment and find a way to beat the new defenses he's facing.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Stay 50.
They'll look to throw. Well, there's that man again. It's complete. So he got free at one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. He's back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. It's brought in left side by Tate. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Peterson alone in the backfield. Back to throw. Surveying the field. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. 4th down. Bridgewater. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions looking like they're going to come away with a victory. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah. And
once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. On the run, Abdullah. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not in a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Detroit, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.